So, but I am curious, like, how do you make time for mastery
Mm,
while also making time for family?
oof, man, that is so beautifully said. That
And I'm asking for a friend, meaning myself.
I think it comes down to a level of intentionality in everything that you do, uh, and that's hard. I will say it's hard to live at the level of intensity that I tend to, but I think there is something for like being able to take your work seriously without taking yourself seriously, and just being able to be accessible. And I think like I know where my priorities lie. My kids, my family, that comes first. Always will, like full stop. And so one of the ways that I want to be really well practiced, as much as I want to be well practiced in any of the different mediums that I do, is I want to be well practiced as a family man who makes art. And so part of that is like, yes, there are times when I have to be sequestered away in my studio, and the kids have to know like dad's at work. You can't bother him. But then there's other times where it's like I invite them into the studio. I don't want them to feel like they're constantly in competition with the things that I am making, because I want them to respect it. If they always felt sort of in competition with it, there would be sort of an animosity that grew within them,
Yeah.
by feeling like they were always bypassed or overlooked for
Hmm.
what I was working on. So
Yeah.
instead, it's like they are in my studio, whether it's my calligraphy studio or in the wood shop, even, it's like my kids will come out and, my son Henry, he sees me carving. He's like, I want to do that. And so I'll set
Hmm.
him up with scrap of wood with a wood chisel, and I get to teach him the art form while I'm still working. And so I have these like beautiful moments. I mean, it's like I get more tickled about it than I think he does. That it's like here's my son Henry chiseling away right next to me in my studio. It's like they're beautiful moments that actually aren't competition to the work, but they actually heighten the experience of the work and draw me into a deeper level of it. And that takes time. I used to talk about my creative capacity is like a locomotive. It takes a long time to ramp up the momentum in order for me to get into it, and I can't do a hard stop because that just results in a train wreck. And I'm just fixated on that piece, even though I'm pulled away from my work at a moment's notice. I'm like frustrated, and I feel like super aggravated about it. And a lot of times, the frustration I feel about being interrupted in my work is longer lasting than the interruption itself. In
Mm.
that, in my ability to stew, like I'm, I'm just perpetuating the train wreck at that point. So I will say, like being a father of four and working from home, I've turned from somewhat of a locomotive into a metro train. It's like there's lots of starts and
It's
stops
a lot
that
of,
that
right,
I
right.
do, but it's not nearly as catastrophic as it once was. And I still get to my destination on time. That is, I do whatever I have to if it means um, working nights while the kids are down, or finding like I like writing my last book. I was doing it in every scenario you can imagine, like taekwondo practice, on road trips, just wherever you can to find those moments and be better at being able to do work even in those like less than ideal circumstances, which I think is actually it's a natural superpower of the artist.